On day 10 of the Diddy sex trafficking trial, a former employee of Sean Combs testified that he threatened to kill her and that she saw him beat up Cassie Ventura. Here are highlights from her testimony.
Were there any other individuals around you aside from Mr. Combs and Mr. Offert in Central Park that night?
No.
What, if anything, did Mr. Combs tell you at that time?
He told me he didn't know that I had anything to do with Suge Knight, and if anything happened, he would have to kill me.
What concern did you understand Mr. Combs to have?
Objection, Judge.
Sustained.
What was Mr. Combs?
I'm sorry, Judge. I'm going to ask to strike the last answer.
I don't believe she answered.
No, I mean the question and answer before.
Grounds?
403.
That's overruled.
Ms. Clark, what was Mr. Combs' demeanor when he threatened that if anything happened, he would have to kill you?
Calm.
Did you have the opportunity to observe him in this conversation?
Yes.
How did you perceive this threat?
Very serious.
Why is that?
I felt like there was some gravitas to the fact that he might have had issues with Suge.
I'm going to stop you right there, Ms. Clark. What, if anything, did Mr. Offert state when Mr. Combs made that threat to you?
Nothing.
Was he nearby?
He was.
What was his demeanor?
Calm. Stoic.
How did you react when Mr. Combs threatened you?
I said we'll just have to see.
What did you mean by that?
I meant there was nothing I could do in Central Park to convince him that I was a trustworthy person. I knew my character. I knew that I didn't have anything to do with any of that stuff that he would possibly have any.
Objection, Judge.
That's sustained. The jury should disregard the witness's answer. Ms. Steiner.
Did you continue to work for Mr. Combs after this incident?
I did.
Why did you continue to work for him?
I felt maybe I could have been more transparent.
Transparent about your background?
Yes.
Was this the only time that Mr. Combs threatened you?
No.
Directing your attention to 2004, did there come a time when you were accused of theft?
Yes.
Approximately, how long was this after you started working for Mr. Combs?
Couple months.
Can you please describe generally what you were accused of stealing?
I was accused of stealing 3 pieces of very high-end jewelry that was out on loan from Jacob the jeweler. There was a diamond necklace with a cross, a diamond bracelet, and a diamond watch.
Ms. Clark, had you stolen the jewelry?
I did not.
Was there a time when the jewelry came into your possession?
Yes.
Why did it come into your possession?
Puff gave it to me.
Did he give it to you for safekeeping?
He gave it to me to take on the plane trip that we had that afternoon to Miami.
And who is this jewelry on loan to?
Mr. Combs.
Did there come a time on the way to your trip to Miami that you realized the jewelry had gone missing?
Yes.
Where were you when you realized that?
A couple yards away from Signature at Teterboro.
What did you do when you realized that the jewelry was missing?
I told the driver to stop the car and I called security at 1440 and told them to lock everybody in and search them.
What, if anything, did you convey to Mr. Combs at that time?
I told him that his jewelry was missing.
And what did Mr. Combs do?
He said, okay, I'm going to go ahead to Miami. You go back with Paul.
And when he directed you to go back with Paul, where was he directing you to go?
1440 Broadway.
Where did you go after that?
Went to my home in Queens.
And we'll get to that in a moment. But did you go back to 1440 Broadway?
Yes.
And you said you went with Paul. Is that Mr. Offert?
Yes.
What, if anything, did Mr. Offert do once you were back in the bad boy office?
He questioned me about the events leading up to the bag being missing.
The bag with the jewelry?
Yes.
How long was he questioning you for?
Couple of hours. 2.5, 3, finished out the day.
And you mentioned that you also went to your home. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did you go there from the bad boy office?
Yes.
Did you go by yourself or with someone else?
With someone else.
Who was that individual?
Paul Offert.
What happened once you arrived at your residence?
Paul searched my house.
Can you describe what he did?
He went through my belongings. He went through my common areas. I had a roommate. And just searched. He didn't find anything.
What, if anything, did Mr. Offert tell you after he was unable to locate the jewelry?
He says, okay, I'll be back tomorrow. We need to figure this out. We'll try to figure out what's happening, what's going on.
Did Mr. Offert pick you up the next day?
He did.
And where did Mr. Offert take you at that time?
1710 Broadway.
What was this building?
I didn't know.
At the time you did not know?
I did not know.
Did you later find out what it was?
I did.
What is that?
It became our new corporate offices.
So Bad Boy eventually moved into this building?
Yes. And Sean John.
And after you entered, was the front door kept open or locked behind you?
It was locked behind us.
How do you know that?
I could see the gentleman locking us in.
How could you see it?
Through the glass door.
Ms. Clark, once you entered this building, 1710 Broadway, can you describe what the interior looked like at that time?
Dilapidated, post-move-out, pre-move-in. The floors weren't really done on the level we were on. The floor wasn't done. There was old pieces of permanent fixtures around that were sort of half taken out, but pretty much just a gutted building.
And again, at this time, did you know what this building was?
I had no idea.
Where were you brought inside the building?
I was brought to the 6th floor.
Who brought you there?
Paul Offert.
Was anyone present on the 6th floor when you arrived there with Mr. Offert?
Yes.
Who was there?
There was a gentleman, a heavy-set gentleman, who was chain-smoking cigarettes and drinking black coffee.
Can you describe this individual's appearance?
Very wide, very heavy, looked like the size of 2 linebackers. He wasn't tall. He didn't stand very much either.
When you say size, in width he was very large?
Yes.
Can you describe this man's size relative to your own?
5 of me, across. He was very wide.
Did you learn this man's name?
I did not.
Did you speak with this heavy-set man?
I did.
And what did he tell you was the reason you had been brought to the building?
He says I had been brought to the building to take a lie detector test to figure out what happened with this jewelry.
What, if anything, did he say would happen if you did not pass the test?
He said if you fail these tests, they're going to throw you in the East River.
How did you react?
I was petrified.
Did this man proceed to administer the lie detector test?
He did.
At that time, did you want to be taking the test?
I did not.
Why did you permit him to do that?
I was afraid of what would happen if I didn't pass this test, and I felt the test was the only way to get through this thing.
What, if any, responsibilities did you have after one of Mr. Combs's hotel stays?
To pack up his belongings and sweep the room for anything that might be left behind.
What, if any, damage did you observe in the hotel rooms after his stays?
Just baby oil. At the Intercontinental, I would see, handprints left in oil on the, ultra-suede wall.
How frequently did you observe damage from baby oils in the rooms?
Frequently. But it was a lot. It was just a lot of baby oil. It was just everywhere. It wasn't necessarily always on the wall.
Earlier, you testified that by 2008, you were Mr. Combs's global brand director. Is that correct?
Yes.
And at that time, was Mr. Combs still going to hotels with women?
Yes.
Did you still have a role in setting up those hotels?
I did not.
And if you know, which women would he bring to hotels most frequently at that time?
Kim Porter, Cassandra Ventura.
Ms. Foster, can you please bring up what's in evidence as Government Exhibit 2A401? Ms. Clark, who is this?
Cassandra Ventura.
You can take that down. How frequently would Mr. Combs stay at a hotel with Cassandra Ventura when you returned in 2008 as his global brand director?
I would say once a week.
Approximately how long would these hotel stays last?
3 to 4 days.
What hotels would Mr. Combs and Ms. Ventura typically go to?
Beverly Hills Hotel, L'Hermitage, London.
And what, if anything, would Mr. Combs and Ms. Ventura do after a hotel stay?
They started getting IV drips.
What, if anything, did Mr. Combs tell you about why they were getting these IV drips?
I asked. He related it similar to serotonin supplements because ecstasy depletes your serotonin. It's just replenishing us from partying over the weekend.
From the drugs?
Yes.
Was Mr. Combs ever violent with you during your employment?
Yes.
Approximately when was that?
Summer of 2006.
Where were you at the time?
In his home in Two Star Island, Miami.
And what, if anything, did Mr. Combs tell you when you had arrived at Two Star Island in Miami?
He told me, I don't care what goes on this weekend. You are not to leave this house.
Did Mr. Combs later send you on an errand?
He did.
Where to?
Pharrell Williams, who was a music producer, his manager came over and was dropped off by boat on the back dock for a quick meeting. He had me return Rob Walker to Palm Island, where they were shooting a video.
Did Mr. Combs direct you to do that?
He did.
Approximately how long did you remain on the other island?
An hour.
What were you doing during that time?
Hanging out.
When did you next hear from Mr. Combs?
About an hour in on the phone, I got a call.
What did he say?
Where the are you?
What did you do after you got that call?
I went back to Star Island.
What, if anything, did Mr. Combs tell you when you returned to Star Island?
He said, "See, your problem is you want a life, and you can't have that here."
What, if anything, did he direct you with respect to the rest of the weekend?
He said, "Like I said, don't go anywhere. You are not to leave this house."
What happened the next morning?
I woke up and I went to the kitchen to get some breakfast.
What happened then?
I was making my plate. The chef was there. She was tired. I asked her where the turkey bacon was. She said, "There is no more turkey bacon." She was very upset from a long night, and I said, "I hate it here."
And what, if anything, did the chef then tell Mr. Combs in your presence?
She then walked outside to where Puff was standing on the back deck and told him what I said. It exasperated her. He immediately looked at me and said, "You hate it here?" And he charged me.
When you say he charged you, can you describe what he did physically to you?
He ran towards me with his hands open and pushed me, my shoulders, and he started pushing me back.
In what direction?
Out towards the front entrance of the kitchen, through the butler's pantry.
Approximately how far did he push you?
About 25-30 yards.
And how was he pushing you? Just to make sure the record is reflecting the witness with open hands?
Open hands, right here on my shoulder, like, you know.
The top of your shoulders. What, if anything, was Mr. Combs telling you while he was pushing you in this way?
He said, "You hate it here? Get the out of my house. You hate it here? Get the out of my house." And he repeated it until we were outside.
Can you describe the amount of force that Mr. Combs was using when he was pushing you?
I would say 75%. I never fell. I kept catching myself.
Did anyone intervene?
Yes.
Who?
Paul offered.
What did Paul Offord do?
He told Puff to stop and he told me to go pack my things.
Did you follow his instructions?
I did.
And after this incident, when Mr. Combs pushed you through his house, did you leave your employment?
I did.
Why did you leave?
That was crossing my boundary.
What did you observe when you opened your door?
I saw Mr. Combs.
Can you describe Mr. Combs at that time?
He had a white button-down shirt with a button-down sweater, business slacks, gray slacks, and nice shoes.
And can you describe what the slacks look like?
His pants were gray, and they were split, open from knee to knee through the crotch, so I could see his underwear.
Can you describe his face?
Furious, no glasses on.
Did you notice anything in his hand?
A gun.
Did Mr. Combs enter your apartment holding a gun?
Yes.
And when did Mr. Combs tell you once he was inside of your apartment?
He said, "Why didn't you tell me?"
How did you respond?
I said, "I don't know what you're talking about."
What did he say next?
He said, "Who is Scott?" I said, "I don't know any Scott."
What did he say? What did Mr. Combs say after that?
He said, "Kid Cudi." I said, "Oh, Cassie's friend."
What, if anything, did Mr. Combs state about Kid Cudi, Mr. Cudi?
He just said, "Get dressed. We're gonna go kill this
Who did you understand him to be referring to?
Cudi."
And when Mr. Combs said, or directed you to get dressed to go and kill Cudi, Mr. Cudi, where was the gun?
In his hand.
When Mr. Combs directed you to go get dressed, how did you respond?
"I don't want to go."
How did Mr. Combs respond when you said you did not want to go?
He says, "I don't give a what you want to do, go get dressed."
Was the gun still visible to you at this point?
He had put it in his waist when I moved to get dressed.
The waist of his pants?
Yes.
Can you please describe Mr. Combs's demeanor during this conversation where he directs you to get dressed?
Livid, furious, mad at me.
What, if any, concerns did you have for your safety?
I had never seen anything like this before. He had never come to my house in the entire time I'd known him. I've never seen him with a weapon. I've never seen him making me do something like this.
Did you make any attempts to escape your apartment?
I did not.
Why not?
The way he was acting, I just felt like anything could happen.
At the time you went to Mr. Cudi's house, did you know whether or not he was home?
I did not.
What, if anything, did Mr. Combs and Rube do after you arrived at the home?
They entered the house.
Were you still in the car?
I stayed in the car.
Were you able to leave the car?
No.
Why were you not able to leave?
I probably could have left, but I didn't.
What were you afraid of if you left?
Objection to the leading.
Sustained.
What did you observe Mr. Combs and Rube do on the property?
Fidget around, trying to gain access, and they gained access.
What, if anything, did you do while Mr. Combs and Rube were on the property out of the car?
I called Cassie.
What phone number did you call her on?
On the burner phone.
And when did you tell Cassie when you called her?
Cassie, what the And I asked her where she was at.
What, if anything else, did you tell her?
I told her that Puff came, got me with a gun, and brought me to Cudi's house to kill him.
And what, if anything, did you do to the contact number for Cassie's burner phone on your phone after you made that call?
I changed it to my best friend's name. I changed it to Stormy.
Why is that?
I wasn't thinking very smart, but I just didn't want it to stay as Cassie's backup phone. I didn't want him to know it was Cassie's phone.
Who did you not want to know?
Puff?
And when you were speaking with Ms. Ventura on the phone, did you hear anyone else on the phone?
Yes.
Who did you hear?
I could hear yelling in the background.
What did you hear?
I heard someone say, "He's in my house," and I said, "Who is that?" She said, "Scott." And I could hear him running out, and I said, "Cassie, stop him. He's going to come get himself killed." And she was like, "I can't."
Did Mr. Combs return from the house to the vehicle after that call?
He did.
And what, if anything, did he do when he returned to the car?
He said, "Who were you talking to?"
What did he do next?
He asked to see my phone.
Did you give him your phone?
I did.
What happened next?
He called back the last number I was speaking to.
Was that Ms. Ventura's burner number?
It was.
And what did he say when he called back that number?
Bitch, what the is this number?
And how, if at all, did Mr. Combs react to Cassie having, or Ms. Ventura having a new number?
He livid, more so than already.
What, if anything, happened after Mr. Combs spoke with Ms. Ventura on your phone?
We heard a very fast-moving engine coming up the hill.
What happened next?
Out of the corner of my eye, I could see that it was Cudi. Puff looked at my face. I guess I gave him a visual cue that it was him, and he goes, "There's that right there."
What happened next?
Cudi pulled up next to the Cadillac Escalade, came to a complete stop, looked, and then took off and sped up the hill. Puff and Rube jumped in the car and we started chasing him.
How long was this chase?
It felt like forever, but couldn't have been longer than a minute.
What, if any, other cars did you observe while you were driving at this time?
Cudi lost us. We turned south, down Laurel Canyon. We heard sirens and we passed the police.
In what direction were the police headed?
They were headed north on Laurel Canyon. We were headed south on Laurel Canyon.
Were they headed in the direction of Mr. Muscuti's residence?
They were.
How, if at all, did Mr. Combs react to the police cars passing you?
It calmed him down.
Can you describe what you mean by that?
He just started to, maybe for the first time that morning, pull himself together.
Where did Rube and you and Mr. Combs go next?
We stopped at the Key Club.
And what, if anything, did Mr. Combs instruct you when you stopped at the Key Club?
Told me to call Cassie.
Did you follow Mr. Combs's instructions to get Ms. Ventura on the phone?
I did.
And what, if anything, did Mr. Combs instruct you to tell Ms. Ventura?
He told me to tell Cassie that he has me and he's not going to let me go until I come get her.
Did you convey that message to Ms. Ventura?
I did.
And when you conveyed that message to Ms. Ventura, where was Mr. Combs in the vehicle relative to yourself?
He was standing outside of the vehicle by my window.
And you said he was standing outside the vehicle by your window. Was he able to hear the discussion?
Yes.
Did you remain in the vehicle or did you exit the vehicle at any point?
I sat in the vehicle.
Why did you stay in the vehicle?
Because we were just stopping to make the call and then continuing on. He was the only person that got out. Rube didn't get out either.
What did Ms. Ventura respond?
She said, "Okay, come get me."
Did you, when Cassie, Ms. Ventura, said that, what was her tone?
Calm.
Did you return to Mr. Combs's residence after that call?
I did.
Who drove you there?
Reuben.
What, if any, instructions did Mr. Combs give you at that time?
Told me, once you get Cassie, you guys need to go talk with Cudi and convince him to not tell the police that it was me.
Did he tell you anything else?
He says, if you guys don't convince him of that, I'll kill all you
What happened after you and Ms. Ventura entered the vestibule of the house?
Puff was standing there in a robe and his underwear, and he immediately began kicking Cassie.
Can you describe how Mr. Combs was kicking Ms. Ventura?
100% full force in her legs to begin with. She was facing him to start, and he kicked her, in like the thigh and her leg. He kept kicking her. He never used his hands.
And you said he kept kicking her. Was he kicking her more than once?
Yes. He repeatedly kicked her, and she just kept. Each kick she would crouch into more and more of a fetal position.
And as Ms. Ventura was crouching more and more into a fetal position, can you describe where she was physically located?
Outside. By now, we were in the courtyard of the home, just outside of the vestibule. Every time she kicked, she moved back. Every time she got kicked, she moved back.
And approximately how far back did Ms. Ventura get, moved back from the kicks?
Couple steps each time.
And in total?
All the way to the street.
Approximately how far is that?
Maybe 20 feet.
And you said that Ms. Ventura kept crouching further into the fetal position, is that correct?
Yes.
And by the time she reached the street, can you describe what her body looked like?
She was all the way on the ground in full fetal position.
What was Mr. Combs doing to Ms. Ventura in the street when she was on the ground and in full fetal?
She wasn't doing anything. She was crying silently.
What, if anything, was Mr. Combs doing to her?
Kicking her.
Where was he kicking her when she was on the ground?
Her back.
Anywhere else?
It was her back, her backside. She was here, so whatever was revealed, what was ever off the ground side, he was kicking her.
How far were you from Ms. Ventura while this was happening?
No more than 5 feet.
Was Rube present?
He was.
And how far was he from Ms. Ventura?
No more than 5 feet.
What, if anything, did Mr. Combs tell you while he was kicking Ms. Ventura?
He said if I jump in, he was going to me up too.
Did you intervene?
I did not.
Why not?
I had never seen him do that, and I was in shock, and my heart was breaking for seeing her get hit like that.
Following your termination, did you have any additional discussions with Mr. Combs?
I did.
And what do you recall him saying in those discussions?
That I would never work again, that he would show me that all these people weren't my friends, that he would make me kill myself.
Following your termination, did you seek other employment?
I did.
Did you receive job offers?
I got a job, yes.
Did that job fall through?
It did.
Were you ultimately able to obtain and keep employment?
No.
Following your termination, did you reach out to Mr. Combs's attorneys?
Yes.
And did you reach a settlement with Mr. Combs?
I did.
If you recall, approximately when was that?
That was in October of 2012.
And was that based on allegations of wrongful termination?
It was based on, yes, wrongful termination.
Okay, great. So January 12th, so you're conducting business as usual in this email, correct?
Yes.
And January 12th, I'm sorry. What did I say it was? January 13th. Sorry. January 13th, 2012 was 3 weeks after this kidnapping you told this jury about?
Yes.
Okay. So you were conducting business that whole time, right? I mean, you told the jury about this kidnapping and Mr. Combs has a gun and people are going to get murdered. And here you are on January 13th, 2012, arranging for a Bad Boy conference call on behalf of Cassie with a lot of other folks from Bad Boy. That's what we see in this email, right?
I don't think that's what you see. I think you see Jason Wiley requesting that the chairman wants to speak to everybody, and I responded that Cassie and I are confirmed.
Right? Okay, so the chairman being Mr. Combs, right?
Yes.
So this was a meeting, a conference call, right, for Bad Boy?
I can't tell what it is, but it's something. Yes.
All right. My point is, you're back conducting business, being a productive member of the company. Immediately after this kidnapping you told the jury about, right?
Yes.
Okay. And did you tell the government that you looked through the door peephole and saw Combs with one of her building security guards? Did you say that?
I did not say that.
You did not say that?
I did not say that.
You understand. Well, we can take it down. Now, this was a meeting that you had with the Department of Homeland Security Special Agent, correct?
Yes, sir.
Sean Quinn, right?
Yes, sir.
And he was asking you questions about this event, correct?
Yes, sir.
And notes were being taken of this meeting. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
You're aware that when you speak, the government, as part of an investigation, they tend to take notes, right?
Yes.
And they were taking notes on this occasion, right?
Yes.
And do you have an understanding that these notes are then made into a report?
I see. Yes.
Okay. So, what you're telling us is you didn't tell the government that you saw a building security guard outside with Mr. Combs through the peephole. You did not say that?
I did not say that.
Because there was no building security guard, right?
He was in the guard box.
No, that's not my question. I know there's a building security guard somewhere. My question is whether the building security guard is on the other side of your front door, and that you see this building security guard through your peephole when you see Mr. Combs. And you're saying you never said that, right?
I never said that.
Objection to form.
Overruled.
Now, so you let Mr. Combs in, right?
Yes,
Do you know how he got up to... Because you can't get into your building without security letting you in, correct?
correct.
Okay. You didn't let him in, did you?
No.
You sure?
Yes.
So how did he get in?
You want me to answer?
If you...
I'm assume.
No, I don't want an assumption. I want if you know.
When?
If you know, how did he get in?
When we inquired with the security guard that was normally there,
Yeah.
she said that that security guard was fired. He said that Mr. Combs came to the gate. He was livid as hell, very upset, had a gun, and was like, "You're going to let me in that building."
And who is this person?
Some random security guard at Hillcrest.
Did you get a name?
I don't have his name.
Summer of 2012?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the fire investigator wanted to talk to you
Yes.
about what happened at Kid Cudi's car, right?
Yes.
And you didn't want to speak to the fire investigator?
I did not want to be involved with any of this any longer.
So, did you tell that to the fire investigator?
I hung up the phone, sir.
So, when a fire investigator is trying to get in touch with you to solve a crime, that's what you understood he was doing?
Yes, sir.
He's trying to solve an arson,
Yes, sir.
and you don't speak to the fire investigator?
I do not.
You don't give the fire investigator the courtesy of saying, "I would rather not speak to you"?
Yes, sir.
You just hang up the phone on him,
Yes, sir.
and you never call him back?
No, sir.
And you're never interviewed by the fire investigator?
No, sir.
And you're never interviewed by police?
No, sir.
Can you do me a favor and just read the second paragraph there? Out loud, if you could.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
No, I haven't seen these emails in such a long time.
That's okay.
My hope for this year is you make good on your promise to get other things and actually be my friend again. Hopefully, retrospect has taught you that I just minded my own business and grown people did what they wanted to. She was clearly never my real friend 'cause she didn't clarify that to you. So many of your other so-called friends knew things too and you still f*** with them. She just must have wanted me, in particular, gone. I realized that later.
Thank you. I'm sorry. We can take this down. Did you think that Cassie wanted you gone?
Pardon me.
Take your time. Take your time. Just take a second. Take as much time as you need.
Sorry.
There's nothing to be sorry about.
I felt, again, I told you, this is so complicated for me. I felt that I was somewhat of a protector for Puff, and if you could get me away from him, he wouldn't have someone looking after his back that actually was really looking out for him, so, and that email is me pleading like, dude, let it go. Sorry.
That's all right. That's okay. Take all the time you need. There's no rush.
I don't know. I felt a little bit, in retrospect, looking at how everything happened, I was the only one that was gone. She was still there, and things were getting worse. A lot of the things that I kind of worked really hard to keep on track, to keep professionalism and business as the goal. So that was how I felt in retrospect.
So you thought you could protect him?
Not protect him. My job was to keep it professional and to move the ball toward the goal, just to be successful and to inspire people so they know if they can do this, they can attempt to be great.
Okay. So, tell me if this is right. From your perspective, he heard you?
I don't think that that was the case. I think that he did what Cassie wanted and Cassie wanted me back.
All right, and can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Did that hurt? That he would only take you back because that's what Cassie wanted?
Yes, absolutely. This is my whole life and their shenanigans. I have no parents. My son has autism. He's nonverbal. My stakes are higher, sir.
I understand, and I'm sorry to keep asking questions. Do you need a minute?
Number, I want to try to make it through.
Okay. And so you reached out to him consistently, right? And I'm sorry, through the year 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, you wanted him to forgive you, am I right?
I wanted my life back, sir.
I understand. And your life, when you say, I want my life back. You wanted to work with him again?
I wanted to work with the music industry and my core competency.
I understand, and that's why when we all met in April of 2024, just a little over a year ago, you wanted to come back and be his chief of staff, am I right?
Not necessarily.
Well, not necessarily. Isn't that what you asked me?
That's what we talked about. I didn't ask you, but we did discuss it. Yes, we definitely did discuss it.
Who brought it up, me or you?
I did.